All right, guys. So, hey, hope you guys have been enjoying everything on the channel thus far. You guys already know. Please like, follow, subscribe. For some more content. Today, kind of want to do something a little different. Just kind of something just more raw, right? Just talking about what's going on in the scene at large, what we see on the tourist sphere. Those kind of things. Good things, I promise. I'm not going to waste time on clown fiestas because you guys don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that, right? But I saw something that I felt that was really important to kind of talk about, especially as we model this channel about learning and education, right, and Smash in general. And there's certain things that I tend to see that players really get hung up on. And it's an old classic. We talked about it before, but we're talking about it again. And you guys already know it's going to be tier list, right? So there is a tweet here, right, by Hefnoff, right? And he's saying it's not really spoken enough in Smash and / other fighting games that different tier lists apply at different levels of play, right? And I really like this tweet in certain ways, and I have issues with it, right? And let me tell you why. So a lot of people, when they look at tier lists, they don't understand that these tier lists that are made up for these top players and the general tier lists that you see out there are tier lists are supposed to be at the highest level of play, right? The highest level of foreseeable play. It may not be happening in a tournament at the time, but it is the highest predicted level of play that we can right now in the present. Where do these characters rank? Now this is really important too, right? Because this is not characters just being ranked based on like if they win every matchup, but it's talking about their overall matchup spread, right? That's usually where you get this. And you use certain ideas and indicators, right? We use potential, we use tournament, we use tournament wins and those kind of things too. But the reason why we use that is to give us that is supposed to be a snapshot of where this character should be or potentially, right? The kind of high level play, top level play that we should be kind of looking at. That's why people look at it. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that you need to have that level of play there, present in the current meta for you to recognize that this character is really strong. But it's an indicator, right? And this is why this is a really big thing for me, because people tend to not realize that tier lists are things that we use to give us an indicator, right? To move us along and have a general idea of where a character should stand, their level, right? The value that we place in their strategies and their tactics and their abilities and so forth. That's what we're looking at here. It is not an end all be all, right? It is not live and die by the tiers, but it's not tiers don't exist either, right? Because that idea is the kind of prevailing thought around that idea is tiers don't exist, nothing matters, there's nothing, as long as me as the player can do this, I can go and I can beat them and then I win. Easy peasy, they're free, they're trash, I'm the GOAT, so I'm gonna do whatever I want. No, that does not work, right? Because at the end of the day, you are a player with human limitations playing with a character with game limitations and character limitations, right? So that needs to be taken into account. There always is going to be data information that needs to be taken into account when you're doing a matchup, right? When you're looking at something. And also, when you're in a 1v1 game, you're not the character you're picking is not playing against the entire cast. What they're doing is they're playing against one character that's managed by one player, and you are one person managing one character. Obviously, you have characters who are double or switch like Pyramithra, all right? I don't want to see them memes in the comment section, but that's what matters, right? And that's very important to understand, right? That we have to be somewhere in the middle when we look at tier lists, right? Have an understanding that there's value in them, but they are not the invaluable end all be all, right? They are not our Bible to FGC Nirvana, right? That's just not how it works. So what should we actually be focusing on, right? And I think this is a really big thing, especially for some of the lower competitive players and some of the lower to mid level players, right? Where they're trying to go. And it is that you need to understand that, hey, when you were playing the game, use these indicators to facilitate your growth. And what this should be leading you to, what a tier list should be leading you to, is you to understand what are the important strategies and skills in the game, right? What are the things what are the capabilities that tend to be commonalities amongst top tier characters, right? What are they able to control? What are they able to do? Do they tend to really excel in juggling, right? Do they tend to really excel at ledge trapping, out of shield? Like what are these particular things and nuances that make a character very strong? And that allows you to understand the game at a greater level of what's strong and see what you need to focus on as a player to get better, right? And that's how you should start to look at those things. And that's big. And another thing to that too is even when you're playing up against someone, sometimes I see players like, hey, oh, well, man, like this matchup, this character's top tier, my character is like low mid tier, right? We all know it. The low tier hero, right? The low tier hero player, right? If I lose, it was my character's fault. If I win, man, I'm the best. I beat you with a low tier character, right? And the thing about it is, again, you are playing, it's a 1v1. You're playing a character versus a character managed by, a player apiece. And that is what's happening. So you need to look at particular things, right? You're looking at the particular matchup, not just the matchup in and of itself, but the amount of matchup knowledge each individual has. Then it's the player skill, right? And it's very important as a player who's trying to improve that you're not playing to win these things and you're not thinking, oh, I'm not going to pick this character because I can't win. But if this is a character you're trying to learn with and grow with, play against the character with your best character. That you personally is your best character and play it out. Play out those hard matchups, right? And learn. Because you know what? You may find out maybe that matchup's not as hard as you thought it was. Maybe it's something where even though this character is a top tier character, maybe the actual matchup, the one-on-one matchup, is a little bit different, right? And it's good to do that kind of due diligence by yourself. It's good to go through that process, right? And it's not just, it's honestly, and in life, it's good to go through that process because you need to be able to understand what is good, why is it good, how can I circumvent that? What do I need to do to mitigate the certain strengths and enhance my strengths, right? There's certain things where, example, you may have a character who may be very strong all around. Pyra and Mithra, very strong duo. Very, very great characters all around. But they're not really good at recovering, right? And so maybe you are playing a character that maybe it's a character that is not as high as on someone's tier list. Against them, right? Say you're playing a DK or whatever it may be, or even like a DDD, for example. But your character that you're playing, and you as a player, you happen to be good at edge guarding and ledge trapping. The thing is, Pyra and Mithra have terrible recoveries. So understanding, like, okay, I need to focus. If I'm going to play against this character that is really strong, but this is their weakness, I need to identify that, and I need to be able to be strong at that and learn and grow in that aspect, right? And that's a very big thing as you become a better player, understanding where you can shift things to your favor, regardless of how strong the character may be on a tier list, right? Because you are playing to improve, and you are playing to ultimately be better. It's not just now, get the dub now. Hey, yo, get the dub, big boss man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just that. You were trying to grow, and it's important to do so, right? And I want to talk about, even because you have Bloom Forever, right? And doing this thing. He's talking about, like, do people actually think Snake is top tier still, right? And this is a big thing because, hey, tier lists are going to change. As we get more information, as we get more data, different patterns are going to emerge, right? Maybe certain things they seem like they're somewhat the same, right? Relatively the same. But there's going to be change, right? There's going to be new characters added. There's going to be patches. There's going to be things were discovered in a game. There may be a shift in the stages, which may adjust kind of where a character may be. And it's again, these things are all for the sake of discussion, so you can take that and then get granular with it, right? Don't stay surface level. If you're trying to learn as a player and be better as a player, I'm telling you guys right now, don't stay surface level. Use that as a template to help you kind of get to where you need to go. But ultimately, when you're struggling with a matchup, you're struggling against that Ryu, you're struggling against that Donkey Kong, you're struggling against that Joker, you don't look at a tier list. A tier list is not going to save you in that way. It just may tell you certain things are strong, maybe, in certain ways. But it's up to you to go there, break it down, get granular with it, look at the tactics, look at the strategies. Look at the character strengths and look at their weaknesses, because all the characters, especially in this game is such a balanced game overall. One of the most balanced fighting games I've ever played in my life. And it's something where take the time, learn, figure it out. And you may get better at that matchup, but more than anything, I'm telling you, you were going to get better at the overall game and your understanding. And that is something that you can take with you in the game and out the game. All right. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for me. You know, I just wanted to talk on that because we always see this stuff pop up day in and day out about tier list this, tier list that. And I just want to make sure, right? I think you should always have a routine public service announcement for the people to let them know, like, hey, this is how we need to look at tier lists, and this is how we need to navigate this, especially in your path to growth. Because some people get lost in this stuff and they use it as a crutch, they use it as an excuse. Whether it be tier lists don't exist, so I don't need to learn or figure out anything, or it's all about tiers. So if this character loses to that character, then that's it. There's nothing else to learn. You know, pack it up, call it a day. We can't operate that way. So, anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and like I said, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you guys another time. Class dismissed. Peace.